All right, so let's show the image that we loaded here. So I'm just going to refresh the page to see it's not showing the correct image here. So what I'm going to do is go to the same profile view, and we'll copy what we have here. Copy that, any of those anyway. So there's a place that shows the image, which is here. Actually, this is not the place. It's about at the top here. There's another image tag. Where is it? Right here, source, and it has this profile image JPEG, which could be used as the default value. So what I would do is I will, what to do here? Let me use this as the default value in case an image does not exist. But no, this doesn't really look like, okay, we'll fix that later. So what I'll do here is I'll echo out an image here. So right about there, let me copy this. Right here, I will paste. And then this one is image. Okay. We don't really need the escape here. So let's refresh, and there we go. So we have Beyonce there. But as usual, the image does not fit properly. So let's put style, and let's put object fit, and tell it to cover the entire requested area. Still, that doesn't work. So what we will do is let's add more styles. Let's give it definite values. So I'm going to say width. Maybe let's put 150 pixels. Let's also put max width so we can counter what Bootstrap has. Put 150 pixels. Let's go for height as well. Let's put 150 pixels. This way it knows exactly what dimensions to cover. Okay, there we go. So that's good. And if we come back here, we should see exactly the same thing. So I am going to copy this, not the styles, but just the link. Then find the next image tag. So select this like so, find, and it's right here. So I'm going to copy the source, and that's it. So with that, I refresh, come back here, we have something similar, and we can replace it. So the thing to do here is to click, and then let's load a different image. Let's put Ed Sheeran here, and then let's hit save. As you can see now, we have Ed Sheeran there, very nice. Even here we have him. The only problem is now we have two images here. Beyonce is still here as Ed Sheeran is here. We haven't deleted that image, so let me delete it here from there. But we need this process to be automatic, otherwise we'll have thousands of images as users just keep changing images there. So what we'll do is we'll go to, you see at this point, when we get to this point, it means we have actually changed the image, right? Excuse me. So we can put an if statement here or a variable and say image changed. But wait a second, we can't even know whether this went through or not. So what we will do immediately, we don't need this. We just come here, and every time we add an image, we have to delete the old one. So what I would do is I'm going to say if. It's always a good idea to check if the file exists before you delete it. Otherwise, if you try to delete a non-existent file, you'll get an error. So remember that we have a row here, which represents the old data in the database. So that row can help us. So we can just say raw image. So there's an image in there already. So we'll say if file exists and link that file. So it's just like that, copy and paste. That's it. So file exists and link it. Great. So let's come back here and try this. So we have Ed Sheeran's image, and you see there's only one image here in our folder. So let's try and change this dude. Let's add somebody else. Let's add a little kid there. Save, and there we go. New image. However, if we check here, if I close that, there's still one image here, only that, no Ed Sheeran anymore. And if we try to add him back, you will see that still there's only one image here, Ed Sheeran. So good file management there. Right, so now that we are done with this, we need to do some data validation. So far, we're not validating this data because we allowed this to have a 2 there, which is not cool. And also, if we don't replace the image, it shouldn't affect anything. So right now, if I click save, I should save without erasing the existing image. That's good. This button will be useless for us, so you can remove it or leave it out if you want, but it did save. But there was no validation there, so we need to validate our data. So to validate our data, what we will do is this. Now, usually we need to use the user class, the model class here. Usually what happens is the validation that is required for when you are logging in or creating an account may be different from when you're editing an account. Because usually when you're creating an account, maybe there are fewer pieces of information that's asked of you, maybe just a name, email, and password. But later on, we have other pieces of information. And also there's some information that is required when signing up. Maybe you have to accept terms and conditions, which you don't need to do when you are editing. So what we'll do is we'll just copy the validate function and create a new one. So we'll copy all of this, copy, and then we'll paste it here. So we can name it something else. We can just say edit_validate. That's all. Just so it's different from the other one. So all these validations remain the same except the ones that we need to change. So password isn't there at all, and we can leave that out. So what I'll do is I'm just going to remove password. We don't need it because we are not editing the password there. We don't need the terms to accept the terms at all. I'll remove that. So, but what we need is the other stuff. Let's see what things are required. So here really, I don't know, if the phone is required, add it there, you know, but we can validate these guys, the tweetlers and the rest. Now there's let me search for PHP filter var URL. I think it should have that. Oh, there we go. Filter validate URL. This is nice. It means PHP has us covered when it comes to URLs. So what I'm going to do is, okay, for some reason that didn't load, tough luck. I'm going to go to here, the structure, and add more of this stuff, because if I go back, we have Twitter profile, Facebook profile, Instagram, and LinkedIn. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So what I would do is I'm going to go here and add 4 more. Go. So Facebook _link. Let's copy that, paste here. This one is Instagram link. Twitter link. And then finally, what is this? LinkedIn link. That's weird. Anyway, so let's put variable characters here. Links can be quite long, so I don't know. Let's put 500 characters, or maybe 1024. We're not putting any indexes here, so this is fine. And let's make sure we select no value to make sure that it accepts empty values, because these are not really required fields. Okay, now we have that. That's good. So we should add them. Let me go to browse. We should add them to the class. So up to here, copy. Let's come back to the user class right about here. I will paste and put that. Okay, then I will put that there like so, and that should work. Okay, good. So we have those included. That's fine. And now we can use that validation system. So let's go to the edit validate. So we only validate them if they exist. So I'm just going to say if not empty. Okay, so first of all, make sure it's not empty. So data, and then we have Facebook link. If it's not empty, then validate it. So I'll do that. And then I'm going to say if not filter var. What's the variable? This is the variable I want to filter. I want to make sure it's a valid URL. So I'll use PHP's function that exists instead of me creating there's filter validate email, but there's also one for URL. Good. So if not true, then let's add an error. Let's put that error here. And then we'll say Facebook link is not valid. So this is what you do when a value is optional, but once the user supplies it, you need to validate it. So first of all, you check if it's not empty, then you do your validation. Okay, so we will do this for all four. So I'm going to 2, 3, 4. And we change this link to, oh, wait a minute. I should have changed this to Facebook link as well. Boom. Okay, now we can copy. Then now I can do this. Twitter link and Instagram link. And then finally, LinkedIn link. And then change this. Instagram and Twitter. All right, so that's our validation there. And if we get nothing, we get nothing. This is good. So you can put comments to see what's going on. So first name, last name, email, and then filter var. And then you can filter the rest of the information as you please. Okay, for now, this is fine. So now the function is edit validate. So copy that and let's go to admin section. And we need to validate information before we even post the image or copy the image there, because otherwise we'll have a problem. So here what I'll do is I'm going to say if user and then paste that. So the user, okay, so that's already created. So if this is true, everything is good, then we can do all of this up to here. So I'll move the closing tag to after there. In fact, even the redirect should be in here. So let's move everything over like that. Okay. So if the validation went well, then we do this. If not, we show our errors, and we can copy what we did from the sign up page where we got this. Let's get that and let's put it here. In case there are any errors, we will release them there. Okay, good. Alrighty then. So with this, we are good. We can validate. Let's see what username is. A first name is required. That's all we supply. We are not showing whether we want numbers or letters there as well, so we should add that, I guess, as well. But let's try with the LinkedIn stuff. And then I'm going to go to my login view page. Where is that? Login view. Because I know there's an error checking thingy here. So I'm going to copy all of that. Okay. Yes. So what I can do is, this is not adequate at all. See, the errors are down here. Let's go to the sign up version. This is the one that's better. It has this. So I'm going to copy that, copy. And let's go to profile view. Let's start with just the LinkedIn input. Where is that? Or Twitter. Let's start with Twitter. Right here underneath, I will put that. And this is named Twitter, but we need link at the end to match. And so I will copy this and say Twitter _ link. And I'll do the same for Facebook link, Instagram, LinkedIn link, like that on the names. Okay, but we just want to test if we're going to get an error here. So I'll be coming here. Let's try and add something in the Twitter link that doesn't conform to an actual link and hit save. We can't see it, but it should be there. Oh, goody. It didn't actually work. Now, did it? No. Okay, I think what we should do first is fix this issue here, and then let's come back so that when we refresh, we don't go to another page, we come back here. That way we can solve problems faster.